illustration by a fellow named Tom Gibson, who does wonderful characters, gets all the kids giggling all over the place. But the idea is if we get them out there, get them doing things hand-on and having fun doing it, it makes a more lasting impression, and the kids will remember what they learn a lot longer that way.
Okay, sounds good. When will that take place?
That is tomorrow already.
Wow.
Yeah, we're doing it a little earlier this year, and looks like we're actually going to have nice weather for it this time. It always scares you when it goes cold and you figure, oh, somebody's going to turn up in shorts and sandals.
Yeah. No, it looks like a pretty nice day tomorrow. So that should work out pretty good.
So that's one of the fun things we do, and it's pretty much an all-day thing. So I hope the kids are going to enjoy the chance to get out of the classroom and actually get out in the country for a little bit.
Okay, sounds great. What else you got for us this morning, Deb?
Well, we've got several upcoming events. I guess we'll start out. We work with the County Extension Office and with the Eddy County Soil Conservation District and Extension Office on a range tour that's coming up, and Joel probably has better information for that right now.
Okay.
Yes, as Dion said, we work with Foster and Eddy County work together, Extension and Soil Conservation Districts. We did a range tour last fall. We went out to Spickler's and looked at some of the things that the Spickler operation does as far as range management and the advancement of some range management practices. This year we're going out to the Kelgard Simmental Ranch, which is out at McHenry. This is scheduled for next Thursday, September 12th. We run from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Our guest speaker this year will be Dr. Kevin Sedovic. He's the North Dakota Extension Range Management Specialist out of NDSU. Our program this year, after we tour some of the aspects of the Kelgard Simmental Ranch, Bruce and his son and so forth, we're going to concentrate on late fall winter grazing and feeding, with the potential for a lot of corn that may not make it because of frost damage or just because of drought conditions. We figure there's some opportunities there for livestock producers to take advantage of some of the grazing opportunities that we have available there. So some of the topics we'll talk about there is grazing corn stalks and corn stover, some winter bale grazing, some swath grazing, and then the grazing and use of cover crops for a forage product for livestock operations. To go with that, we're also going to talk about some high tensile fencing, making sure that we understand that there are opportunities to do some easy, quick fencing to help move these animals around, and also to provide some fencing in those areas where we can go out and get some of that aftermath after the crop is already harvested. We'll talk a little bit about portable windbreak panels. Once again, the opportunity to put up portable windbreak panels to feed your livestock away from the main facilities and get them out there a little bit and actually feed them on some pasture or feed them on some cropland, especially during the early part of the winter. NRCS will also be available to talk about EQIP programs that are available to help these producers try some of these practices and try to improve some of these practices on their operation. Free meal afterwards, sponsored by the Foster and Eddy County Extension and Soil Conservation District. That's Thursday, September 12th, next week, 5 to 7 p.m.
Did you have directions to get there?
Yes, the Kelgard Simmental Ranch. From McHenry, you go 3.5 miles north on Highway 20, 3 miles east, and 1 mile north.
Okay, sounds good. And I'm sure everybody enjoyed the tour last year. I didn't make it over at that time at the Spicker Ranch, but heard a lot of good things about that. So this should be probably something you should be putting on your list all the time. Sounds like a very good deal. Did you say is there a meal there that night?
Yes, a free meal after the program is over.
Okay. Hey, if nothing else, you can go for the free meal. There you go.
Definitely.
Dion, what else you got for us?
Well, speaking of free meals, there will also be one after the Soil Health Tour, which is September 18th, also 5 to 7, I believe, at Randy Stedman's farm. And that's going to be basically the basics of soil health. Do you have, I don't have the list of speakers. Do you have that with you as well?
Don't have those totally confirmed yet, but we're looking at going to Randy Stedman's farm about 17.5 miles east of Carrington.
That's easy to find, right?
Right on the highway.
Right.
Can't miss it. It's right on the edge of the highway.
Yep.
On the north side, pretty easy to find. We're going to do, as Dion said, we're going to do some basic soil health. And with that, Randy has agreed to allow us to dig a couple pits on some of his land close to his farmstead there. And we're going to look at a soil pit on some conventional tillage type land and also a soil pit on some no-till land. And I would guess that probably 95% of the farmers have never actually seen a soil pit and actually gone into a soil pit
That is correct.
and looked at a soil profile. So we want to give
Yeah.
producers an opportunity to look at a soil profile, understand soil horizons and soil texture and permeability and infiltration and some of those basic soil health issues that we face with in the soils area and in crop production. We're looking at an NDSU extension and an NRCS soil health specialist to help us with this program. They're going to cover some of this material for us. They will also perform some soil quality tests. Some possible tests that you'll see these guys perform would be a soil respiration test, infiltration test, electrical conductivity test, which measures your salt concentration in your soils. They can do pH tests, nitrate level tests, and so on and so forth. We won't be able to do a lot of tests, but because of limited time, we don't want to make the program too long. But
yeah.
these people will be able to, do some of those tests and show farmers the actual condition of
Okay.
their soil. And the idea behind that is once again to make producers more aware of soil health and give them a better
That
understanding.
sounds really, really interesting. Yeah.
And with that, hopefully, that understanding helps them to improve their productivity. That's the
Oh,
bottom
yeah.
line.
Yeah. Deanne, anything else?
Well, this is, we're just starting to pull a schedule together for this, but we are going to do backyard conservation again. We're looking at sometime in October, and I pulled out the school calendar trying to find a free night. It's going to be interesting trying to schedule it, but we are planning to do backyard conservation again.
Okay.
And I'm not sure what else we're going to be doing, but we're pretty sure we're going to do something on square foot gardening this year,
Oh, okay.
which is a way of trying to fit more garden into less space,
Oh, sounds good.
and
Sounds good.
makes it a little easier to keep up with the weeds and everything else.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's what we have on the schedule coming up for the next month and a half or so.
Okay.
So lots of things going on.
Yep. Well, appreciate it. Oh, Joel, you got anything else, Deanne?
Well, I did
Okay,
want to bring out some information on tree planting.
Okay, sure.
To remind folks that if you're going to try and plant trees next spring, you have to start planning for it this fall.
Sure.
We prefer to get out and look at the site before the snow flies so we can see what you're looking at, look at your soils and whatnot. And of course, especially if you're starting in some place that wasn't a field before, you need to get the preparation started in the fall. Otherwise, you're going to have a really hard time having it ready for us in the spring. And also, if you've got some young trees and you need some replacements, you want to go get those counted before the leaves fall off the live ones, so you know how many you need to replace. Just if you've got something, even if you're just thinking about what you might want to do, come in and talk to us. We can, look at your soils, look at your site, try and give you some suggestions, give you something to think about, if nothing else, to see where you're going to go. The other thing I want to mention is that the North Dakota Forest Service is doing the Tree Conservation Assistance Program again this year. What that is it's a program that will cover up to 75% of the cost of a planting with a maximum grant of $1,500. So that can be a big help, especially to these folks that have small plantings that might not qualify for assistance through one of the farm programs. So this is something they might want to come in and look at. The only thing is the applications are due by October 31st, and you do have to have a tree plan, one that meets the specifications. So you want to come in a little early and get that plan put together. I can tell you that there will be an emphasis on diversity of species and use of North Dakota natives. So if all you want is 2 rows of spruce trees, you might want to think about doing that through a different program. It's probably not going to qualify.
Okay.
But this could be a big help to somebody who's, just not eligible for any other assistance
Sure.
programs.
Sounds great. Well, Joel, I want to thank you for coming in today. I haven't had you on the show yet, so
Thank you, Lynn.
great to have you aboard here. And Deanne, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you for the time.
Did get it recorded finally, got it going, so you made the deal. And we'll look forward to having you guys back some more.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank
stop
you.
in anytime. Thank you much.